swim. The world's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it and I'll never get bored. Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, have a show. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and the don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb.
Hello and good evening and welcome to our caravan. Welcome to the live stream, the 1st October live stream tonight on 1st of October 2023. And if you are with me live, please make use of the chat. You need to log in to YouTube and then you can take part in an interactive discussion with me via chat, so you can ask me questions or just share your message with the world and I will read it for you. So yeah, hello, welcome. Another week is gone. I don't know when, where, what happened. Well, it's Sunday again. Another week is gone. Welcome. So there are a few people with me already. A few means 8. This is fantastic. This is a great start. You already gave me 5 likes and that's great news. Likes are super important on YouTube. Likes fuel your videos. So please, if you haven't done it yet, remember to give me a like. It may seem silly for you, but it is super important because it helps us reach more and more people. The more likes a video has, the more people will see it. So we can, you know, we are in a chance to make some interesting connections with this live stream. Hello Graham and we're Carmel and Lord Eric, who who I greeted with the Greek good evening, which I believe you pronounce Kalo Pogievma. Kalo Pogievma. What do you think? What do you think, Lord Eric? It's really funny. Oh, Big Bob is in Malaga. It must be scorching there today. It's really funny when people learn literally 1 or 2 phrases in a foreign language and they claim, ooh, I speak French, I speak Greek. How is Malaga and how is Greece, how is Stoke and how is Poland today? We are Carmel, I believe you watch us in Poland. What time is it where you are? I wonder what's the time difference between us and Greece? I think with Malaga it's only 1 hour, isn't it? So tell me, how was your day? How was your Sunday? How was your weekend? Today it's going to be a bit of an emotional live because I'm going to go back to the times we were traveling in our motorhome to share some stories of friendship we've made on the road. And I have a few reflections. Hi Sue! I want to share 20. Oh, it's 20. It's 8 p.m. Yeah, it's an hour ahead in Malaga. What's the temperature like? Was it a hot day? It was a hot day in England today. I was wearing my summer dress and flip-flops. Yeah, in the rain, but it was still so mild and nice. I was wearing my summer dress. Wet and miserable. Yeah, it is wet. It was wet in Mill Park today, but it was still lovely. So warm, and evenings are so warm. Hopefully the heat wave is on the way. That's what the weather forecasts promise us. That will be fantastic. A heat wave in October, you know, wearing flip-flops in October. Unless you are a university student and you live on a campus, you don't normally do it in autumn in England. So nice surprise with the weather. Yes, yeah, so it's quite interesting that most of people who begin this lifestyle, they really break away from their families and communities and they want to be on the move. That's the whole purpose of living on wheels. You want to have this freedom to go and explore. and to be on the move. So thinking about friendships and connections, I think, well, in my experience at least, I think most of people who choose this lifestyle on wheels, whether it's a caravan or a motorhome, they really need a break and they need a fresh start, and they need to get away from their comfort zone, from their town, often from their work, from their families, from everything that is familiar and from everyone who's familiar, and they really need a change. But interestingly, even when you want to be alone, you will not be alone for very long when you live on wheels, but I will tell you more about it in a minute. Wujek Karmel is in Poland, 20 hours. Okay, it's a different way of telling the time on continent. We say 20. What time is it? It's 20, which means 8 p.m. It's not very popular in England or in the United States. You use AM and PM system, and we tend to use the 24-hour system. 15 degrees Celsius. Weekend as always passed quickly. Yeah, were you off, Wujek Karmel? Lord Elric, our clock are 2 hours ahead of yours. Still summer weather here. People are swimming in the sea. That's nice. That's lovely. Well, people do swim in England, you know, in the sea. It is about probably 10. The temperature of water in the sea might be, I don't know, 10, 15? I don't. I'm not keen on swimming in the cold sea. Yeah, if I was in Malaga or if I was somewhere in Greece, I would be swimming in the sea. By the way, we have a tea towel. Our dog has a raised table, and there is a tea towel under his bowls for food, and it's from a Greek island called Thassos. Lord Elric, probably you know Thassos. It's not my tea towel. I didn't buy it, unfortunately. I got it as a gift. But it's a nice island, and I keep looking at it because it's a map. It's a tea towel with a map of a tiny Greek island, which looks absolutely fabulous. Right, so I hope you will share some stories as well of friendships you've made on campsites and on caravanning sites. It is quite interesting. I think it's a super interesting topic. We've made loads. We really made loads, and we've made loads of friends even before we set off, before we left our home, because when we were preparing for our journey and our transition, and this was the topic of the last video. Have you seen the last video? Thank you very much to everyone thinking of holidays all the time. Graham, thank you for watching the last video. It's doing pretty well. It's doing pretty well. I think it's ticking towards 200 views at the moment, which is alright. That's alright. Yeah, just 2 views away from 200. There are 20 comments, including my responses, because you know that we love responding to comments. I wonder how many likes you gave this video. I think it has... can't see it in my app, but I think it probably has something about 20 likes, and many people shared details of their own stories and their own transitions, so that's been nice. Our life is one big holiday. Yeah, our life is one big holiday with a break for cleaning just a few toilets and trimming just a few patches of grass and moving a few caravans, you know, in between our coffees and our meals. But to be honest, when you live on site, it does feel like one big holiday, and I love it. I really cannot imagine living in a different place. I cannot imagine living in a house, that's in the first place, then being in the village surrounded by other people, having neighbors nearby. Cities and towns, that's never been an option. It does feel like being on a holiday, because we are surrounded by people who are on a holiday. We are in a holiday destination. We are in a beautiful area, very peaceful, very relaxing. And the minute we finish work, yeah, we are on a holiday. And especially when we are off, we do have days off. Oh, someone gave me another like, thank you. Especially when you are off in this amazing area, in this amazing corner of North Devon. There's so much to do, so many places to see. And we've been walking Diesel this afternoon. Can you see Diesel? We took him for a long walk before live, and this is a lurcher's reaction to a long walk, you know. No, he needs to sleep it off. It's warm in the caravan, as you can see, but he likes his blanket. So I covered him just before live, and he didn't move at all. He didn't shake the blanket off, which means he's very, very comfortable. Have you got a dog or another pet? And have you noticed that in autumn they become more and more cuddly because of the colder weather, and they like blankets and they seek warmth even more than normally. Okay, so thank you so much. Before I share some stories of amazing friendships we've made, and I have this habit that when we travel, I should be really doing it here in Mill Park as well when we are static, but especially when we travel I like to make notes. So I have notes from our first van life trip and my my memories. I have a little index of memories, and I named this page, this collection of memories, I named it Adventures and People. And looking at this list, I see that, you know, wherever we went, we met someone interesting. So I'm going to share a few. Yeah, how are your dogs? Are they okay, Sue? So I'm going to share some stories, but at first thank you for the comments under the latest video. Of course, Graham commented, thank you. And Gary wrote an interesting comment that he owns a house and he spent 8 weeks traveling in a motorhome, and those 2 months in a motorhome planted a seed and planted an idea to carry on. So that's quite amazing. If you're watching a replay on any other day, Gary, thank you for sharing your story. So it's amazing that once you hit the road, once you have a longer holiday in your motorhome or a caravan, you may be tempted to carry on. However, I know that not everyone gets hooked. And some people, even after 6 weeks in a caravan, start to miss their home and home comforts. But many really get infected and they want more and more. Duncan wrote a lovely comment, thank you. And Damian Nawski praising our videos. Steve Van also shared details of his journey, that he's in the middle of clearing his house. Good luck. So that was nice to hear. And Elena commented and said the video was interesting, thank you. And Vuya Carmel, who is with us right now, also wrote a comment, thanks. The comment from Ruby Rose really touched us because she shared her story, how she's, I think she's starting her retirement and she's clearing her house, she's selling her house, and she's ready to hit the road. And I had a look at your channel, Ruby Rose, and I noticed that you are in Australia, which I believe gives you quite a few roads to explore. It must be amazing traveling in a motorhome through Australia, which is such a vast continent. Yeah, I think it may be pretty dangerous if you venture inland. You may get lost quite easily. I like Australia because when you look at the map of Australia, it seems that there is only life, and, you know, infrastructure on the coast, and the middle, the center, is just empty and wild. That's really fascinating. It must be amazing to travel there in a motorhome. You can't beat not having to make a bed up. Yeah, but you could just leave it. I know it was annoying for you when you were in your caravan making your bed every day. Would it work if you left it? you have your bed in the lounge, don't you? If I remember rightly. Yeah, we were lucky, but because in our caravan, even it was only, I think, 4 berth, but we had a dinette at the back, which we turned into a bed, so we didn't make our bed. And now our bed takes like a third of our living space. It is really, really good to not have to make the bed every night, every day, every morning, every night. I couldn't live with that full time. Yeah, Marek posted a link to Camping Freedom Seekers group if you want to join and get to know other followers, other viewers of Freedom Seekers. I couldn't stand it. Ah, okay. Took too much space and it doesn't look great, does it? Okay, let's chill. Let's take a step back, Graham. Have a sip of tea. Have you got something to drink? I was very tempted to have coffee. I love coffee. But I thought, oh, it's getting late. Maybe I will have some herbal tea, and probably after finishing this one I will have coffee anyway. Righto. So, friendships, yeah. Would you agree that campsites and caravanning sites are great places to make new friends and meet new people, or not? I heard an interesting opinion that in the past campers used to be more community minded. I think I heard it from an older camper, or I should say a mature camper. We have a blind that we could use to hide bed and bedroom, but that would cut off quite a lot of space, and Diesel loves our bed. Well, it is his bed, really. Yeah, we've got this blind. I showed it in a video about our guests in the caravan. So this blind would go literally here, where my arm is. But, nah. It's much easier to just keep your bed semi-presentable and, you know, get a nice bedspread, which is one of the tricks. This is one of my top tricks for keeping the caravan looking nice and homely. Having order on your bed, not having, you know, like everything messed up and jumbled up. A dog looks good as well and keeps the bed warm. Right, so what was I saying? Ah, the campsites, yeah. So this camper said, you know, when I was camping in 1970s, people used to share more and they used to be more open. They used to hang out with each other more and mix more. And now, and I think this is partially true, at least from what I observe on the campsite, that people come and they park their van or a caravan or a motorhome, and I think especially those who in caravans and motorhomes, they park on their pitch, they set up their camp, and they never really talk to the neighbors, or they hardly ever talk to the neighbors. They put their chairs outside, pull their books, drinks, a barbecue, and they are busy and engaged in activities on their pitch. But I hardly ever see, you know, people having a barbecue together or sharing a drink together. It's really nice to watch our seasonal guests van on site for all the year, for a season. They do it a lot. They organize events together and celebrate birthdays together, and that's lovely. So maybe people just need a bit more time. Maybe a weekend or 7 days is just too short to strike some connections. I don't know. Well, you tell me, what's your experience? Have you made any friends? Have you not? Well, I find that in the UK a word friend is such a, I don't know, it's almost rare. I mean, making friends in those like coincidental situations, like accidental connections, you know, quite rare. I think people generally tend to be self-sufficient and they don't really ask neighbors for help. But when you live in a motorhome and you travel around quite a lot, you really rely on your neighbors. and wherever you go, because you are away from your home, you may be away from your country, you may be hundreds of miles away from your home and country, you really learn to ask for help and to offer help and to accept help. So I think the whole van life community relies on kindness and mutual support. And honestly, if we didn't have this faith that wherever we go there will be someone we could ask for help, we will find at least one person, you know, in an emergency situation. Because I think many people don't travel because they are worried about things which can go wrong, and of course they can go wrong. But we had this mindset, okay, if things go wrong, we will find someone and ask for help. And we did many times. And other people were asking us for help. And that's how we met them. That's how we made some connections. So when you are on the move, I think you are far more vulnerable than, you know, comparing with staying on a campsite for a few days. But hey ho, I talk too much again and you don't ride. So let me know when you go camping or caravanning, or maybe you camp in a tent. I find that people camping in tents tend to mix with each other a bit more, and maybe tent campsites are a bit more relaxed. Let me know what are your impressions and your observations. So looking at our list of people and adventures, it is amazing, and I'm so happy I made notes. One of the first people we met on the road was a viewer who happened to live in Holland, in the Netherlands. And what happened to us, our caravan, our camper broke down, and we posted a teary post on our social media saying, oh, we are only in the Netherlands, didn't get very far, and our motorhome is down, and we are here and we are not sure what to do. We really needed some support from our viewers and from our followers, which flew in immediately. And then one bloke wrote, hey, you are here and I'm like 50 miles away, would you like to meet? And from this mishap, from this something that was potentially stressful and awful, the first breakdown on the road, something really positive came out from this, because we met Simon, and we are in touch to this day and we talk regularly. We are still friends. So this was quite a nice surprise. Graham, tent campers, in my experience, tend to have children, which are always an icebreaker to help people to start talking. Yeah, and it seems that it's always children who start to play first with their neighbors. That's a nice observation, that children are an icebreaker. Yeah, there is always something to comment. Retro. In my experience, you can be parked next to someone all week and they won't say a word to you, but the day you are packing up to leave, they will come and talk to you. Really? On the last day? Yeah, do you think it's the matter of time that people kind of have to get used to you and seeing you? Or maybe they talk to each other on the last day because they are not afraid they will say something silly, or the conversation will not have a flow because in a minute you're going to go separate ways. Maybe they are worried. I don't know. But it's so relaxed when you travel and you keep moving all the time. We had an interesting situation in Spain because we met a couple on the first stop in Spain. We both came from France and they were going to Portugal. We stayed in Spain and we were exploring Spain. So we met at the first stop. Adverts in live during the live stream. So we met at the first camper stop in Spain, let's say, and we got on very well. We swapped telephone numbers, and a few weeks later we met again in Murcia, on a camper stop outside IKEA. Those of you who've done a bit of traveling in a motorhome or in a car, you probably know this camper stop. It's really good. Anyway, we met there in a place which was really a car park in front of IKEA. There was nothing. Sue agrees that people tend to talk on the last day, and then you need an extra night to enjoy some time with your neighbors. This is super interesting. I wonder if it happens, if more people agree with Sue and Retro, if it's a thing. So we met there, and I remember I was sitting with the girl from this other van. We were gossiping. It was really nice because when you're on the road and you wake up in different town or village every day, it's really nice to find someone familiar, you know, and sitting together, sharing a drink. So we were talking, and in the meantime, we were talking in Polish because she's Polish as well. And in the meantime, a really nice camper pulled and parked next to us. And we were making very loud comments in Polish because the camper had the German registration plate. So we were sure that the guy will not understand what we are saying. So we were sitting with our cabs and we were just making comments. Oh, look at this van, amazing, yeah, because it was a really nice new motorhome. And then we started to comment the driver because he was very nice too, and asked us in Polish, "Oh, good evening, ladies. Do you mind if we park right next to you?" And that's how we all met. So the three couples traveling, you know, being free on these free trips, just traveling pretty much without a plan. And we clicked immediately. And we stayed in this awful parking lot for a week, even though there was nothing to do apart from shopping, nothing to see, there was nowhere to go. We could go anywhere, but we chose to be in this parking lot because we met nice people, and I think everyone was a bit tired with constant changes, and we just enjoyed settling in one space, in one area for a week, talking to the people we know a little bit. Well, it was our first meeting, but we felt like we've known each other for years. Yeah, so we camped in a parking lot outside IKEA in Murcia because there were two amazing couples we found really friendly, and we didn't need anything else. We were just so happy in each other's companies. It's one of the best stories from this trip. Retro is definitely right. People come and speak just as you start to pack up. Yes, also that's another aspect. You know, we were a group, we were a tribe. However, in this particular car park, I say car park, but it was a dedicated car park for motorhomes, and you could stay there and you could sleep there overnight legally. And I think there were showers, toilets, there was a chemical toilet point, water. So it was the parking with services for the motorhomes, of course, to encourage people to go and shop in IKEA. But it was really nice of IKEA to offer us this living space, and it was safe. There were lights and security, but we also you know, felt safe because we were together. There were 6 of us, so we yeah. It's not just a UK thing because it has happened to me lots of times in Europe. Okay, well, I think what helps is problems. Problems help. When you are staying on a campsite and you have a problem to solve, it's definitely a good motivation to talk to people around you because you will simply seek help. And we had a nice interaction with a couple in Italy. We were on a campsite just outside Mont Blanc, or Monte Bianco as the Italians say, and it was very hard for us to get there in a motorhome because it was located very, very high and the road was steep, and we really we had difficulties with getting there. And we met this lovely couple who had a tiny car. They were traveling around Europe in a car with a tent. Yeah, you don't need a motorhome to do it. You can take any car and a small tent. And they were on their adventure. And I remember at first they started speaking to us because they needed a hammer or mallet to hit their pegs. By the way, they were camping in a tent and didn't have it, but maybe that was their trick to make friends. So we shared ours, and then they were cold because we were in the Alps. Nights were very cold. The days were hot, and then nights were super, super cold. So they didn't have any heating in their van, in their tent. So we invited them to sit in our motorhome because we had heating and it was all nice and cozy. And then the next day we needed help from them because we couldn't get out easily in our motorhome. They had their small car, so they did shopping for us. So basically for a few days we were supporting each other, getting to know each other, and it was really nice. It was really nice. It would have been much harder for all of us if we didn't stick together and didn't help each other. Yeah. Probably in the UK, people when they go camping, they really pack for all occasions and they have so much equipment. And probably, sadly, I think, if someone doesn't have, a hose or they are missing a tool, they would, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think many people would rather get in a car and drive to the shop to buy that thing than ask their neighbor for help, which is a bit sad. But maybe it's just my perception. Maybe it depends on your personality. I think these days people don't like asking for help. Maybe they feel a bit embarrassed about it. But when you are traveling, especially when you're traveling on a budget, I think most van lifers travel and live on a budget, you learn to ask for help and offer help. Graham, problems definitely help because people are generally always ready to help, even if you've never spoken before. Yeah, I agree with you. In my experience, I don't think we've ever had a situation either on a campsite or in a motorhome parking when we would ask someone for help and someone say, oh no, sorry, no. Yeah, many people helped us many times, which is really heartwarming. But then you have to have a bit of courage to ask for help. Yeah. I think I had a little list of things I wanted to share with you, and I think I shared most of them. So, a big thing is that Mill Park is open for camping and touring only till the end of October. And I know that at least one of you is hoping to visit us, and we are looking forward to your visit. Actually, I need to email Dee because Marek will be away for a few days this month. I may be away as well, so we have to make sure you arrive when we are here. So please, if you are feeling like exploring North Devon, especially with this amazing heat wave on the way, let us know in advance so we can send you a discount code which will give you 10% off for your stay. You could use it for a pitch or a glam pod or a bell tent. The bell tents are still up till the end of the month. And secondly, we will make sure we are here. So you have a month, ladies and gents, and then the campsite will be closed for camping and touring, and it will be open to seasonals only. Graham, socializing is good as long as you know when to give other people space. Oh yeah, we had one bad experience years ago with a couple that were unhappy. Oh God, unhappy together, so they are constantly stuck with. We were constantly stuck with one of them. That's awful. And they were probably telling how miserable and how awful is the other party. Yeah. Oh, Oh, look, I got a bit carried away. Beltons and glampots are only available till 15th of October, so 2 weeks. And then we will start packing them for winter. Yeah, this is a really bad experience. You never know who you're going to meet. Oh, but it's sad that, people came camping. They planned this holiday together. They agreed to travel together. And then they didn't work things through. They would rather talk to you than to each other. Well, that's life. And bottom field will be closed from 15th as well. Bottom field is the last field, the one the closest to the coast path. It's one of my favorite because on the corners it has many wild areas and there's a waterfall. Yeah. Oh, I just realized that another season is almost, finished. So we have 2 weeks of glamping left, 2 weeks with the third field. Then we will reduce our offer to 2 fields for 2 weeks. And then we will only see our seasonal campers. By the way, that's another development in Mill Park. We have many seasonal pitches available. So there will be many new neighbors next year. So if you're interested, have a look at the Mill Park campsite Facebook to see some details. We created some posts with Marek about seasonal pitches. But again, if you consider getting a seasonal pitch, write to us first, please. Nikki, yay! I stayed a bit longer. I had a feeling you may be coming. How are you? Yeah, normally I've finished by now, but I'm glad I stayed a little bit. A bit late to the party. What were you doing? Were you busy with your vegetables? Were you busy with your loofahs? Oh. And I spoke to Elena and Steve, to Vasilika and Steve today, and they are busy, but they are alright. And I think, yeah, they are busy. They are alright, but they are busy, so they are not here tonight. Hopefully, they will be with us next week. 10 likes! That's nice. Thank you very much. So please remember that if you are watching this video on any other day, you couldn't be with us live. On Sunday, you can still like and comment. So please do. Nikki, how was your weekend? And are you going to apply for campsite jobs for the next season? Because soon those vacancies will start to appear. I was cooking allotment curry. That's one of my favorite dishes. I also make allotment soups. Has she finished? I think not, but she must be close. She must be near. They only do once a month. They only do one walk a month. I'm sure that if they have completed, there would be a big celebration and a big announcement. So I haven't heard anything like that yet. Yeah. But they will carry on. Vasi's walking group will carry on in winter. I remember we were walking with them on Christmas Day last year, which was really nice because we don't do traditional Christmas. So it was nice to have a group of people we could meet on the day and go for a walk together, even though it was a bit adventurous, the walk, because yeah, walking conditions were not great that day, but we still enjoyed meeting them. So Nikki, today we were talking, maybe you will share some of your experiences before we finish. We were talking about making friends and how problems and difficulties help people reach out to their neighbors. And the general consensus and the general observations from the campsites were that people don't speak to each other till the very last day of their stay, which is just super weird. So a few people here, Graham, Sue and Retro, they mentioned that on many occasions their neighbors at the campsite, they wouldn't speak to them for the whole stay. They would start to speak to them when they started to pack on the last day, on the last morning. This is a really interesting point. So what is it like where you are? Are neighbors very community minded or not? Do you stick together and help each other, or is it each to their own? Nikki, I've decided I'm going to stay where I am. Okay. I've been busy creating a new allotment at this campsite. I've handed my notice in on my allotment. Oh, so hello, Cornish Jerry. We are just across the border. We are in North Devon. Whereabouts in Cornwall are you, Jerry? Oh, this is nice. So you will not have to travel to your allotment. You will have it on a campsite where you live. We are only a small site, so everybody is super friendly and chatty. But do you mean like seasonals or the visitors, the campers? People, you know, coming for a short stay. This is quite interesting on site, and I know that some campsite owners avoid it, you know. They have separate fields for the seasonal, all year round campers, and they have separate areas or separate fields for tourers and people coming for shorter stays, like regular campers. This is another interesting point, and I don't know what's your experience, because in the past it wasn't very frequent, but for example, we had a few comments from people who came camping in tents. They didn't like that in the same field there were caravans which were empty. They didn't like it. So in general, we noticed that on many sites campsite owners try to separate those two groups of campers, which maybe comes from the feedback of users, you know. Oh, Marek is reminded about Camping Freedom Seekers. So there are a few new faces with us this evening. It's wonderful to meet you, and welcome to the Freedom Seekers community. We have a Facebook group for followers of the channel, people who enjoy our videos, and the group is really relaxed, and we just post what we want to share with each other. The main aim of this group, Camping Freedom Seekers, is really to meet nice people, to chat, to get to know each other, and to socialize. Oh, Penzance! And you are living in Falmouth. We really like Roseland Peninsula. That's close. That's Lizard, but that's our favorite. One of our favorite areas in Cornwall. It's not very far from Falmouth, is it? So now you are almost at Land's End in Penzance. And before we we started our life on wheels, Jerry, we were living in Liscard in Cornwall, between Plymouth and Bodmin. Quite a nice town. Campers, we are all very friendly. You are the only seasonal. Okay. Many seasonals do not like random being next to them. I think there is a bit of cold feelings on both sides, because we did hear from our campers, you know, visiting campers, that they didn't like the empty caravans around them. But it's nice that, as I said earlier, the seasonals like to create their own little friendship groups. But I think in overall, I think maybe people don't feel a need, you know, to mix with other campers in general. So you are very lucky, Nikki, that you are surrounded by friendly people, chatty, helpful. Right. Yeah. Interesting points, ladies and gents. and my experience, and maybe if you watch it on any other day, if you couldn't take part in the live discussion, maybe you would like to share some experiences of, you know, traveling in a motorhome or a van. I think when you do a van life, those problems disappear, because like Marek mentioned about seasonals, you know, setting up their camp, setting their area, their awning with their furniture and so on, that's kind of their plot, and they may be protective of it. When you live on wheels and you're in a constant move, you don't have it. Everyone is in the same boat. Everyone is a stranger. Wherever you go, you are new and you are a stranger. Often you are a foreign person, foreigner, which I think unites all those travelers being far from home. So this is a completely different setup, different situation. Okay, ladies and gents, it was nice talking to you. Thank you very much for coming. Nikki, you finally made it, so it was nice to at least find out where you are at. I'm really pleased that you are moving your allotment closer to home, and good luck with your new project. Have a great week, everyone. I hope the heat wave will reach the UK as promised, so get your shorts and flip-flops, get your barbecues out. Oh, nice. Yeah, you were actually in one of those fields, so you were literally surrounded by our seasonals. So I'm glad you had a good experience, because you stayed for 2 weeks or 10 days. You stayed for quite a bit. So again, we are open for camping and touring till the end of the month. So if you are thinking, ooh, should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Come, we will be here. And if not, you will have to wait till March next year. Righto! Thank you very much for your likes, for your comments. Thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for lovely comments under the latest video. Thank you for tuning in. Many of you from different countries, from different places in the world. That's super exciting to connect with you. And I will see you in the next video and during the next live stream in a week. So make the most of it. I hope you have a good week, and you will have loads of really good stories to share with me next time. Thank you. Night night. Bye.